Hey everybody, this is David here. Want to go down the rabbit hole just a little bit further with you guys. A lot of you don't understand where the money's coming from. If you don't understand where the money's coming from, then it's hard to believe that there's that kind of money available. Does that make sense? So when we're talking about people who have withdrawn millions of dollars, it's hard to believe because you can't wrap your mind around the concept. So you already know we got the 2, 3, 5, 7-year contracts. The $100 is just a processing fee, it has nothing to do with anything. And then the bank borrows you either 30 plus thousand or 40 plus thousand, depending on the contract. Well, I got 95 contracts, and the bank loaned me, well, not me, in my staking pool, $3.3 million. Okay. Why would they do that? Because their money is 100% guaranteed. They cannot lose it. It's backed by insurance. So, where is the money coming from? This is what people don't understand. If I show you something visual, that'll sink in a little bit. So in the crypto industry, what we do is we supply liquidity to exchanges so they can get in out of trades, investing, a lot of transaction, tens of millions of transactions daily within the cryptocurrency zeitgeist, right? So let's go here. How many exchanges? So if Cryptex goes through and looks for staking opportunities, all done by automation, AI, everything like that. So what is and how many exchanges are there in the cryptocurrency sphere? Well, if we go here, we already know, I looked up, there's 1,492 active crypto exchanges. 1,492 active crypto exchanges. So we supply them money based on this here. This money here goes to these exchanges for liquidity, volume. So transactions, there's no waiting in transactions. So the volume pool isn't thin. If it's thin, you got to wait to get in out of your investments and trades and transactions. You wait. The more volume, the quicker it is, right? So let's take it a step further. What are we looking at? How much money is in that pool? Well, if we go to the exchanges, you look at Binance and their volume, money flow going in and out of Binance is 23 billion in the last 24 hours, 168 billion in 7 days, and $807 billion in the last 30 days. How many transactions do you think are being made there? And we just get just a little fraction of that, right? So there's plenty of money there. I'm just going through, you look at Coinbase. The volume is 5 billion. 50 billion over the last 7 days, 227 billion over the last 30 days. So the money is absolutely endless. That's why staking is the most secure form of generating cash that there is. Now, there are other staking programs that I've seen that take you 20 years to make money because you got to put up a ton of your own money. Staking is just a small piece of the pie, but it has to be. People who created Cryptex obviously knew this, right? So all this volume, billions. If you look at the total market cap is 3.9 trillion, right? This is a lot of money in the top exchanges. So there's no end to the amount of staking opportunities out there. It can never end. It's only going to keep increasing as more and more people get into cryptocurrency. That's what's going on. Everybody's leaving fiat behind. This thing's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. Cryptex can't be stopped. That's where the money's coming from. Just little micro percentages out of tens of millions of transactions every single day. You get a tiny fraction of it. And so they knew they had to get a bank involved to loan enough money to where it would make any difference to make any money at staking. It's just simple. You're using banks to leverage your investment, to leverage your dream. The richest people in the world borrow money to leverage themselves. That's the concept. That's how you get rich. So I've leveraged $3.3 million that goes to, who knows how many exchanges that Cryptex goes through. I'm sure all the top ones for sure, maybe hundreds of them every single day. And there's no end to adding liquidity. The more money we can send them, the better it is for the traders. So we supply an important factor to the ecosystem of cryptocurrency. They need us. We need them and they need us. And they're going to pay us all very well if we hang on to our bootstraps for the next 2, 3, 5, 7 years. That's how it goes. This is not hard to believe. So this is hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars in volume that we're supplying liquidity. And you can see now that Cryptex is scaling it up. They're scaling it up. They're revamping up to 2.0 in the back office. They went from 20 contracts to 50, 80 contracts back in November, December, I believe, of 24. Now we're at 130. They're scaling up because this crypto market, this crypto zeitgeist is exploding, but we need to borrow money from the banks to make any money in staking. Otherwise, there's no money in staking. You got to have a lot of money. The bank can't do their own bidding, just so you know that. The bank can't do their own bidding. They need a client to give money out. They need a client to give money out, and that's where we come involved here. So understand that that's where all this money's coming from. There's no end to this money. Look at the bees. I mean, there's trillions and trillions of dollars being moved in and out of cryptocurrency every 30 days. And we're giving them liquidity. They need us. And Cryptex is now scaling up because they're allowing more and more contracts. So this is not going away. It can't go away. It can't go away. There's just no end to the staking opportunities. It just gets more and more and more. And obviously, nobody has duplicated what Cryptex has done. Been around 9 years, maybe going on 10. There's not another company that's duplicated that. We can't find one person on the internet in all these years that says, man, all my contracts expired and I didn't get paid on one of them. Not one person. Not one person. We got plenty of people that have been paid out that we actually got proof. Listen, when you're making that kind of money, it is smart to be anonymous. Nobody's going to be posting, I withdrew $2-3 million from Cryptex and posted all over social media. You'll have all kinds of crazies knocking on your damn door. So it ain't like you're going to see a ton of proof when you're pulling that kind of money out. Listen, some of these people have waited 7 years for their money. They're not going to go post it all over social media so people can be knocking on their door, holding them for ransom. That's the world we live in. So just understand, just look at this chart. The amount of money, look at the 30 days here. There's trillions of dollars. And we supply the volume for all these cryptocurrencies, of which there are 1,492 active exchanges worldwide. That's why Cryptex will always be. You're looking at the second coming of another Bitcoin. It's 10 years in. If you put $100 in and you're right, you struck gold. But it's very possible 2-3 years from now, you'll have a neighbor that got into Cryptex, that's riding off in a sunset, and you're going to kick yourself in the ass that you never did anything. You just sat on your damn hands and didn't put up a lousy $100 just to see if it's true or not. Think about it. So that's where it's coming from. That money is being leveraged from the banks. That's how the rich get rich. That's how the billionaires become rich. They borrow money, and they turn it into unfathomable wealth. And that's what you're doing here. Listen, you think this is just a lot of money. It's not in the crypto space. The amount of money in cryptocurrency far exceeds what's in fiat garbage money. This is the new money. This is the new way This is where money's going. You have to start looking into this end of the spectrum here and how this whole thing works. Cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it's exploding. And I advise you to get on the wagon train. Get yourself a $100 contract. And if that's all you can do and you want to sit and wait, but it's worth that. You got to take different angles at this thing to understand it. It's a deep thing because you're coming from a fiat mindset. You're trying to understand cryptocurrency, and everything's inverted because it's decentralized, and you come from a centralized system where everything's controlled. Your money's controlled. You can only do a certain amount of things with your money, or the bank's calling you, or they stop your money. This is true freedom on this side. So learn it. I'm giving you all the information I possibly can to help you understand. It's not for me. It's for anybody who wants to come to this YouTube channel to learn it. It's not hard. This is important to understand where the money's coming from and why it's available. You know, it's a lot of money when you can leverage $3 or $4 million. You can make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a day. That's what's going on.